Like I say, the White House has a helicopter pad because I built helicopters for a living and other things, and I wanted my house to have a helicopter pad. So Mountain Drive wasn't quite big enough anyway though, but that's why the White House actually has a helicopter pad. By the way, that's my helicopter. He's been flying around. They someone was automatically assuming that that Lucifer Starr, the president, always flew around in his helicopter. And it's like, no, actually, a lot of other idiots fly around in my helicopters and my aircraft. So anyway, and Nixon was actually thrown out of, and so Jimmy Carter and Nixon were actually thrown out of China. Anyway, that's that when he's going like this victory, he was actually being thrown out of China on my private plane. So anyway, though, yeah, he wasn't victorious at all. Anyway, basically a bunch of people have basically just been house squatting at my White House, just like Trump. Anyway, I paid for the house to be built. Oh no! It's like, well, yeah, it's true. Lucifer Star's White House. That's why it's white. So anyway, uh, Abraham Lincoln was saying that he was president because he lived in a White House. And realistically, he tried to adopt me, but everyone was like, "No, you can't adopt Lucifer Starr." And they called me a black boy. I was white and I was Lucifer Starr. So anyway, they're just trying to kill me. And they was trying to say because he adopted me, he was entitled to the American government or America. It's like, no, you're not entitled to shit. Sorry. Anyway, that's what they did. That's why they wrote in the thing that Lincoln adopted a black boy or whatever. It's like, that was one hell of a black boy considering that was actually Lucifer Starr. Anyway, and therefore because he adopted me and I died, he could live in my house. And he wasn't even really living in the White House. He was living in some other piece of shit White House or a house that was painted white. He wasn't anyone. He was just a liar. And then there was this huge manhunt to hunt him down and kill him. They put his head in a jar though. He should be lying around somewhere. And they were more than him. There's his two brothers or whatever, his two sons. Anyway, like I said, he was running around with his list of rules that said he could have sex with any woman within 50 feet had to accept payment for sex. And then, of course, after he had sex with them, he would arrest them for being prostitutes or something like that. It's a good scam, actually. Anyway, so yeah, stupid. Anyway, eventually he gets killed or he gets shot because he rapes the wrong girl. Anyway, he's trying to live in one of my houses or my house. He's just going around to Lucifer Starr's house, saying he was Lincoln Samuel or something like that. LS. Anyway, no, though, I'm LS. I'm Lucifer Starr. So anyway, all these idiots have just been running around, and basically it's just because nobody knew, because I hadn't actually told anyone. So anyway, eventually people figured it out. Like I said, Trumpy's living in the LS house, Lucifer Starr house, and he's not Lucifer Starr. Anyway, that's very evident. The only reason why the White House has a helicopter pad is because of me. So anyway, eventually some drug addicts or drug dealer or some other people, they put in the missile defense system and all kinds of stuff. But it's like, yeah, I don't know why. Anyway, they sit behind bulletproof glass because basically, we were trying to kill JFK because he was a really bad person and he was a piece of shit. And yeah, I mean, I'm the one who had the Chinese go after him. Anyway, but he had just gotten one of my bulletproof cars or something like that, and they missed him. But then they got him later on. Like I said, I'm the one that was ordering these people killed because they were basically just liars, lying to everyone. They pretend to be Lucifer Starr or president or something like that, and they're just pieces of shit. I own America, not them. I didn't elect them. I didn't say they could be president. What's his name? I said that Ronald Reagan could be president because he wasn't a bad guy. Anyway, I chose him so he could basically speak on my behalf and stuff like that while I was growing up or on my vacation. So anyway, but then some other people get in there. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, George W. Bush, his son was running over some people pretending to be drunk or something like that. or his brother, sorry. And he's basically just a bagman paying for people to be killed. So anyway, yeah. And yeah, so anyway, I've basically listed everyone out in my videos. Uh, uh, what's his name? Rick Bush, my neighbor, his son or whatever, or someone. Basically, he was working for Rodney, and he paid some quackpot scientist. And basically, the guy was always drunk, and basically he told him that they could do something or blah blah, not letting them know that it was a paradox and that they couldn't actually do it. So basically, but they paid him $200,000, and they stole it from and Rodney paid him. Rodney, they stole it from my accounts or something like that. And the crackpot scientist, we found him. He was a Russian scientist, and he was drunk. He was always drunk. So, and he had told him that this thing would work. So anyway, they tracked him down in Russia. He ran to Russia, and he was basically just a drunken scientist that told them about paradoxes and everything else, and told them that something would be possible. It wasn't really possible. It was impossible. Anyway, he was just drunk all the time. So anyway, he's a drunken, stupid scientist. And my accountants were like, Rodney's taking a lot of money out of your accounts. I was like, oh, really? So anyway. Then eventually Rick Bush tries to kill a bunch of people with Rodney or something like that. Anyway, so yeah. So they're basically pieces of shit. I don't really care. Just a bunch of people having a bunch of people assassinated. So anyway, whatever. Anyway, and then Trump is he's not even president, really. Like, I didn't elect him. I didn't say he could be in there. And he didn't really win the election. They're just lying. That's why he was running so fast away from the reporters and everyone. And I think he had actually killed someone in that hotel. Or something like that. So, anyway, they found a dead body, I think. Something that he covered up, and then he was quickly trying to order the police to do things. All they do is they just get into the White House and they try and tell the police to go lock up these people and try and get access to the police database. And they try and say blah 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 blah. They try and order the FBI and the CIA around. And it's like they really can't. That's why George W. Bush was actually working for the CIA, and it was somebody else that actually put him in charge of the CIA, so he could basically order his men around. Basically just protect everybody. And basically all he was doing was making himself rich. Anyway, eventually, like I say, the agents leave the CIA and FBI, and basically it's just a shit group. So anyway. Mostly they just go around, steal things, and basically rob banks or whatever. Anyway, I don't care. Whatever. Just a bunch of idiots. Anyway, just because they have badges or whatever. And mostly, like I say, the White House and the CIA and FBI are just printing up fake names, fake documents for people and handing them out for money. They're broke. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, whatever. Anyway, yeah. Well, that's basically what's going on. Like I say, I invented and I paid for the CIA and FBI to be created. I didn't say they could go around robbing people and stealing things and locking up Chinese or Japanese or other people, and I didn't say they could be counterfeiting IDs or counterfeiting money, which is what they've been doing. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, probably just mostly just trying to find out who I am. So anyway, oh well. Basically, the Republicans and Democrats have basically just been house squatting and just trying to get their friends to have money. Like I said, if you watch Nixon and JFK and everybody, it's their family members. They give a bunch of crap to they just printed a bunch of money or gave their friends like money, gas stations and stuff, and that's why all the gas stations get run down and basically start leaking and everything, because no one's actually working on anything or fixing anything. They're just letting things go to hell. So anyway, so eventually people have to start, a lot of the stuff's like 50 years old or 100 years old. Anyway, because they're just loudmouth blowhards. It's just a bunch of chaos. Anyway, oh well. Anyway, China's been doing more for the world than anyone else. Well, I mean, some people. So, I don't care anymore. I'm over it. Like I say, when the exoskeletons or the 1.5s get here, or the other galaxy, or the other people finally decide to do something about you, I'm not gonna care. I have no mercy for you. I care about the people I care about. Karen, Taryn, Claire. I don't even know them. And Rosella. And some other people. Mostly just them. The only ones I care about. As far as Rick Sanchez, his great great grandfather was a good guy.